All right, Mandeep, Uber has, of course, been trying to push into the automated game, autonomous game here. What does a partnership with Lucid, basically buying several of these Lucid vehicles, and this partnership with Nuro, what does that look like when it all comes together?
Well, they had to make a buy versus build decision. And in this case, even though it's not an outright M&A, getting a 5% stake in both companies, probably that's based on our numbers. They haven't disclosed the exact stake. But it tells you they want to develop the stack. Like Tesla has, it manufactures a vehicle, it has a self-driving software, it actually wants to have a marketplace for, the autonomous rides. In the case of Uber, even though they have partnered with Waymo in 2 cities, they haven't really got that distribution when it comes to AVs. And Nuro has specialized on the delivery side. They're not really a autonomous ride sharing.
So Nuro's doing the software pretty much, right? And they're the ones, when I see those little robot things that delivering food, like through California, that's Nuro, more or less, right?
And they have 1 million miles. In the case of AVs, the biggest thing that convinces the regulators you have the right technology is how many miles you have driven. They want that validation. So Waymo has done approximately 100 million miles till now. Nuro has done about 1 million miles. And look, there aren't many companies to pick from when it comes to, who can you partner with or who can you acquire. I mean, Cruise, we know they closed their operations. They tried to build autonomous technology. So a lot of the companies have given up in terms of developing technology, and Nuro is a good choice.
I also want to point out here that Lucid is looking to a 1-for-10 reverse stock split. This is really important. A lot of the big reason behind the move this morning as well in Lucid, and it raises the question for me, at least from Uber's perspective, why is it Lucid that they're the ones that are working with right now?
Well, so think about how many EV players are there, when it comes to having mass manufacturing. And even though Lucid does about 10,000 vehicles compared to, Tesla's 1.8 million units a year, so still small. Then you've got Rivian, which I think has partnered with Amazon. So from that perspective, again, you have to pick from, the options available. And in this case, Uber wanted some EV exposure. And, Lucid definitely has premium segment cars that a lot of people like, so it makes sense.
There is a question, though, about Lucid. And I know you don't necessarily cover automakers, but, this was a company that was struggling. And, I mean, you see that obviously reflected in this reverse stock split, the need for it. How reliable of a partner do you think Lucid can be in terms of delivering these vehicles, and I would presume maintaining them?
And is this exclusive?
Well, I mean, look, the biggest problem that Lucid has had is the manufacturing costs. Compared to Tesla, which is able to manufacture a car in $35,000, $40,000, Lucid is more, premium, almost double the cost. So now you add more sensor costs for autonomous driving, the cost of vehicle goes over $150,000. So how do you bring the overall cost of autonomous vehicles down so that you can compete with the likes of Waymo and Tesla that are also trying to bring their costs down for mass adoption? So in this case, really, the more partners are there, the more streamlined you try to do in terms of, the cost per vehicle. And then you have Uber's distribution network where all these vehicles can,
replace their driver.
That's right.
And then who am I going to talk to in the morning?
Well, I mean,
that's where I get all my stock tips for the
just in terms of numbers, Uber does about almost 10 billion rides a year. AV rides are still less than 15 million. So that's the magnitude we are talking about. I don't think you will be able to replace the, the human driver fleet anytime soon.
I like it, guys.